the Mediterranean. A vast sea connecting three continents, dozens of countries, different languages, different traditions. And yet, this sea never really divided them. It has always been a bridge. Together with my friend Ali, we started our journey across the Mediterranean to understand what we share and what makes each place unique. This is Many Shores, One Spirit. I arrived in Djerba without knowing exactly what I was looking for. It was quiet, almost empty. No crowds, no rush, just space. It was low season. At first, everything felt different, but the more time I spent there, the more something started to feel familiar. Let's be honest, if it wasn't for the painting on the wall, this could be anywhere in the Mediterranean. A tiny harbor, sunny weather, two people talking with their hands, this could be easily Italy. My journey started in Hamsuk, close to the water. This is the center of the island. I started to wander, observe, and slowly started to walk inland, towards the markets. And like every other Mediterranean country, life happens outside. Outdoor markets, shops, cafes. Life is meant to be lived outdoors. I soon found myself in Djerba, a neighborhood where art becomes the language, where walls are canvas and they tell stories. Across the Mediterranean, art has always been part of everyday's life, from street art to ancient carvings. It's how people express who they are. Different styles, but the same instinct, to leave a mark and to tell a story. It was time to hop back in a taxi and move on to the next town. And after a short drive, I made it to Guelala. This town is known for its rich pottery heritage. For generations, this has been one of the main centers of pottery in the region. Pottery here is not just a craft. It's something that has been passed down over time. I visited a small workshop, and I was immediately welcomed in by Habib. He showed me his work, his ancestor work. He was really proud of it. And while I was there, I also took a portrait of him. That's my way of giving back and appreciate these little moments. Shortly after, I visited another pottery and was amazed by the beauty of it. I really wanted to learn more about this craft. So I decided to go to another pottery, and again, I was welcomed in by the owner. He proudly showed me his work and how he does that. It was really fascinating. I didn't even know him 5 minutes that he already offered me some coffee. So we sat together, had coffee, and we started to talk about life on the island, about my work, and about traditions. At one point, the old owner came by, so I took a portrait of him, printed it, and everyone was so happy that they immediately showed me a video from 30 years ago with the same man shaping the same clay in the same place. And it's in moments like this that you realize that across different shores, some values don't change. Hospitality, respect, and the importance of taking time.
Hi, مرحبا بكم. This is an old olive mill that goes to the 12th century. You have like a little bit of a place that can represent universal memory of olives, but also it can be like very specific to the island. If we hide some items, you can say it's like, oh, this is an island in Greece, they produce oil. It can be like a place in southern Italy, it can be in Spain or in Algeria or however the place. The beauty about the Mediterranean Sea is like our ancestor developed a lot of things that in mutual because of the geography, the climate, the memory, the history, and also the potential. So from architecture, urbanism, memory, languages, traditions, beliefs, it's all this history of this big salted lake called Mediterranean Sea.
What you just heard were the words of Vashti, this amazing guy working in this old olive mill which has now been turned into a museum. Before leaving, I took this photo, printed it, and after I gave him his portrait, in true Mediterranean style, he thanked me and invited me to his home for dinner.
Don't eat anything, otherwise you cannot eat after.
I will not eat. Bye. I couldn't leave the island without experiencing something that every country in the Mediterranean does: fishing. So, on my last morning in Djerba, I met Bulbaba, a local fisherman who took me out on his boat to show me his fisheries. They are built from palm leaves placed into the seabed, in a way that they guide the fish into the traps. Each one of them takes weeks to build. He comes back every day to check his traps, but luck is not always on his side. Sometimes he catches little, and other times he catches crabs, and he doesn't like them at all. He even showed me a fishery built by his grandfather, still standing today. Even though it's not an easy job and not always rewarding, I could really see his passion. Once we got back on the shore, I printed one of the portraits I took while we were out on the boat, and he really enjoyed it. And then, since this was an isolated part of the island where there are no tourists around and also no taxis, he walked next to me along the road until a taxi drove by and I was able to catch it. Fishing feels like one shared soul across the Mediterranean, but each place shapes it in its own way, with its own identity, and passes it on through generations. And that is what makes it so powerful to witness. By the time I left Djerba, I started to see a pattern, something consistent, in the way people live, in the way they share, and in the way they pass things on. But I wanted to understand if this pattern existed beyond people, if it could be found in other things. So, I moved to Alexandria, Egypt, a city shaped by the sea. Along the coastline, life unfolds in a similar way. Fishermen by the water, movement, routines, echoes of what I have already seen. But I wanted to go deeper. So, I visited the catacombs, a very unique site in the city where I found something different. Not daily life, but history. 35 meters beneath the city, I found this pattern carved into the walls of the catacombs. Here cultures didn't replace each other, they merged. You will find Egyptian gods like Anubis wearing Roman armors, right next to Greek statues and architectures. Everything in the same space. I had never seen something like this. This isn't just Egypt, this is the Mediterranean. The same pattern, but expressed through history instead of people. From there I moved to Giza. At first it felt disconnected, far from the sea. Massive structures, ancient, distant from anything else. But standing there, you realize something important. This region has always been connected, long before borders, long before countries. Giza and Cairo don't explain the connection right away, but they give depth. Because what you see today is built on something much older. But you will understand this connection only if you keep traveling. Because it was when I got to Istanbul that everything connected once again. I was standing in front of the Blue Mosque when I saw this Egyptian pillar standing in the old hippodrome. It was brought there centuries ago, during the Roman Empire, as a symbol of power. Moved from Egypt to another part of the Mediterranean, to another continent, and still standing there today. What seems divided by water, continents, has always been linked, not just through people, not just through history, but also through movement, exchange, and shared way of living. Across every place I visited, the same pattern kept appearing, but in different forms, in different contexts, different cultures, different identities, but connected through something deeper. And this is the proof that the Mediterranean doesn't divide shores, it connects them.